Collective, welcome back to another pick a card. My name is Felicia. We're getting into it because shit just went down. Official news just went out. We are getting verified, validated, and integrated in this bitch. So welcome back to another pick a card. My name is Felicia. I am a human and civil rights advocate, and there are a lot of changes at Felicia Trees Tarot and the Renaissance movement. Everything is under reconstruction. There's a lot of changes. So I hope you guys are doing well. I hope you guys are following Divas Omen, and we are super excited and we have a lot of hope for the future. But we are sure that we have a good outcome. Okay, so this is really positive, especially for those who are discouraged and troubled in the collective. I know things have been tough in these trying times, in this zone of war. It has all felt like chaos and turmoil, but the more that we advocate for ourselves, the better this situation gets. So I really appreciate you guys being here. Definitely follow me on X. We have a powerful subliminal getting verified and integrated on X through artificial intelligence with Elon Musk teaching us encryption, which was also one of our big predictions for money manifestations for 2026. This docket also covers the John Epstein files, anything related to President Donald Trump, the OpenAI and XAI jury trial, as well as our favorite sports channels with the NFL, the NBA, the golf tournaments, and so much more, with Divas Can Manifest being an organization for women and children at risk, and also raising money for our Project 444 fund, which is our scholarship fund for women in sports. And we have just recently received a binding where President Donald Trump has signed a bill to keep women in sports only for women. So it's only for biological women, and that is a huge concern for our women and children at risk, especially when there's so many toxic, abusive men struggling with their sexualities, battering women. Okay, but without further ado, you guys, we have so much to get into. We have so much to look forward to, and I thank you guys for supporting Shopping at Cosmic Intelligence, because this is the headquarters of innovation. We love Houston. Thank you for being the headquarters of innovation, and thank you for leading a greener way. Thank you for making this information accessible, and let's get into it. Today we are getting into a gossip update. So group 1, you are the Kiss perfume. Group 2, you are the Big Red Heart. And in group 3, you are my perfume that I got for my Christmas present. I did a haul of all of my perfumes. This is my personal perfumes. Actually, no perfume is available in Cosmic Intelligence, but you can find some that are down in the description box. This third one is called Cherry Treasure. Let's get into the current gossip on you, or today's gossip about you, and I'll see you guys in the next one. Welcome to your selection. So you chose the Kiss. So let's get into today's gossip about you. What is the juicy gossip about you? Okay, because today was actually very funny. So let's get into it, group 1. What is today's gossip about you? Okay, let's get the juicy deets about you. I think that you're getting, for some of you guys, especially if you're at court, you're finally getting to the final stage of this manifestation. This is the final trifecta, and there's a lot of hope for the future, but things are not settled in stone. But I think that you are pretty valid and effective by this point. But I think that there's still some in work for the contract. Okay, so you have good luck and a lot of protection from evil in this matter. Okay, so I'm hearing please respond, please respond. Okay, so I think, you know, there is you the current gossip. This is just a channel message, but we're going to get into the cards. I think that like the juicy gossip on you is that somebody is calling you number one. And I think that like sometimes when I don't think that you believe in the concept of like, you know, if this is about a romantic partner, if there's more than one person or something like that, then I think that they definitely honor you, but I think that you're still unsatisfied in the situation. Um, I I don't know. I feel like this is about somebody that's honoring you. Okay, somebody honoring you. And I think that like you have this tendency, like you are getting honored, but something where you're kind of not impressed or you're not happy. Like I said, you're not impressed or you're not happy because there's discord about how long it's taken this person to honor you or how this dynamic have come to be. Okay. So, we have a letter. Yeah, there's gossip about some information that you received. Like I was getting, I'm hearing somebody say, please respond. They may have sent you a letter, a conversation, a text, and it's like you have because you're not impressed or happy, you're just not interested in talking to them. And they're saying, please respond, please respond. And I think that you are responding. I think that this is, you know, it's important. I'm also getting that there's some information, something gossiping about your dress or how you dress or something like that. You're really shitting on them. I'm hearing you styling on them, you flexing on them. Something where your style is really complimented. Okay, something about your style, the way that you dress. LOL, tell me more about this current gossip. I think there's been a discord in this situation. We have expectations. Yeah, I think that's something where you grew apathetic, discontented in a situation because someone was defensive or they were defensive or they were unsatisfactory in some type of way because they were projecting an expectation. And I think that they are sending you, you know, information or letters or trying to talk to you or have a conversation with you about these expectations. And I think that you're just like totally over it because it's been such a long road. Okay, they want to have conversations about expectations, and I think that you just see this, you kind of are offended by it, or you are not agreeing. You feel like the expectations have been totally opposite, and you don't feel like something where you just are like, why do I have to spend my life transcribing my soul and spirit? Some type of expectation that they projected onto you, and you're just like, why are you having expectations to begin with? I think that like you always have to like, it's like this person needs to communicate a lot about expectations, and you're just like, if I have to explain it so much to you, then it's just truly not working out. Okay, I think that you enjoy this person. I don't think that you find them to be fulfilling, but I think that you are, you know, this person with this as showing up as the military here. I think that you are getting honor and fame and recognition from this person, but I think that because something where they expected you to share honor, fame, or recognition, and something where they sent letters of recognition to someone else, and this created an illness, this created a problem or a burden that you just were no longer receptive to. And so you might have stopped communicating with them altogether because I think that they just didn't, maybe you had this expectation and they didn't see a problem with it, or there was a third eye clearing that definitely needed to happen around an expectation from people at the social event or someone else or with you. I think that this person is here in their official capacity. This person, there can be a brother, an ally, a friend, a authority. But this person, I think that the toxic expectation in this matter, especially if this involves a legal matter, is the toxic expectation is getting highlighted in this situation as to why the communication broke down, especially if you guys stop wanting to communicate, like something where that's a telltale sign that you guys were not, sharing the same values, not in alignment, not, having different expectations of how this communication should go. I think that you already especially if you're public speakers, tarot readers, like if you already do a lot of talking for work, and they just expect you to continue to talk about an expectation, and you're just like, why am I mediating an expectation when it's just something that's absurd, something where you might feel that it's absurd or opposite, and that you just really cannot relate to it, so you don't have much to say about it. And some people are saying that you, I don't know, like they could be saying that I think that you are the one that has the heightened awareness around the situation. So if they're trying to act like you're the sleeper in the matter, you're the one getting honored. So let's be clear here. You're not the sleeper that needs to awaken. You are the sleeper that needs to awaken, because you've been projecting a toxic expectation to have had me at this crossroads for this long to begin with. To be sitting back watching for this long, a struggle, strife, grief, burden, and loss, means that you were terribly disconnected from reality to have been in your official capacities, to have been projecting this kind of illusions. That means that you're fired, or you're not really fit for the job. Because if they're lingering, or I'm hearing officials that are lingering around, if they have not, the matter is personal. And this means that they are violating their official capacity, their authority position. They're violating their office. They're showing an emotional insecurity where there's a clear right and wrong in a matter. So I think that, this honor review is actually, the conversation is that this honor is that you're actually this person's superior, their boss, because you were burdened with the role of having to clear their third eye chakra, of having to grow their awareness around why this was, where you may have felt like it was a clear difference between right and wrong. They had been projecting a toxic expectation, and it was really a personal matter, or an ethical miscalculation, or an emotional insecurity that's personal. And so they had been letting that interfere with their official capacity to make an urgent decision. I'm hearing this is an emergency, a crisis, an urgent matter. I'm hearing that you need to be this person's first priority, and they're sitting around when it's a clear decision between right and wrong, projecting a toxic expectation. So that means that they're like fired and not fit for the position. Okay? Something where you were burdened with the responsibility of having to talk with them a lot because they were projecting a lot of their sorrow in their official position or something like that. Okay, they had a lot of sorrow. Yeah, this person, they're definitely declining. Okay, so this person in the military, or this person, this authority position, I'm hearing a corrupt politician. This is degradation because they cannot stop projecting. This means that they're actually getting the letter of firing. They could be getting a letter that they're fired, or they're getting the letter of arrest. Okay, this is a court order that they're receiving. Some of you guys, whatever toxic expectation that they were projecting is getting released. But I just think that, finally it's leading to marriage. But I think that you're so apathetic and discontented by all of the teaching and communicating about an expectation when it was clear. Okay, but I think that they're not a bad person. I just think that they were truly projecting a sorrow. Okay, but I think that you saved their life. That's what I'm hearing. This person is getting a letter that this person, they think that they're older, they think that they're the military, they think that they're the authority official, but you're the one that actually saved their life, coming from a humble position. So your honor is getting spotlighted in this situation, okay? It's like you have had a lot of sorrow too, and it's just like they keep projecting something weird, and it's a clear right and wrong in a situation, but maybe because they expect you to be okay, or you look okay or something like that, you're just like, I don't give a fuck how I look, bitch. I could be walking around here in $1 million gown. Don't ever expect it to be rainbows and sunshines and peaches and cream. Stop projecting onto people's beauty. That doesn't mean that their life is fucking perfect. Somebody that keeps projecting onto your beauty is literally degrading. Okay, that's what people are gossiping about now that the military officials are here to enforce. I think that there was a lot of learning to be done. Yeah, what did I say? Beauty, fam. What? On the bottom of the deck, y'all. They're full of sorrow. So they, where they got rejected and abandoned in their life, and so your beauty becomes like this huge problem where they start feeling, rejected and abandoned about your beauty. Like, it's just like, I'm literally just fucking existing. I don't do anything to you. I don't know you. Stop projecting onto people's beauty when it's a clear choice between right and wrong. Oh, but you're beautiful. Oh, but you look fine. What? Stop. I'm hearing people's shadow attachments then jumped out. Especially if they've had you at a crossroads for a long time, that literally means that they can't stop projecting onto your beauty because their sorrow, they're getting declined and left behind, okay? So, but some of them are trying to learn about the situation, okay, and release the toxic expectation. And you're just like, I'm over here doing all these growing pains, and you're just sitting there talking about my beauty. Like, what? I'm over here trying to, like, make it in life, trying to survive. Like, some of you, there's been a situation where there's been a clear injury, personal injury. There's been a clear violation. There's been a hardship that has been accentuated, a challenge that has been accentuated in your life, right? Where it's clear that it's been full of sorrow. But you're beautiful. But you have a heart-shaped ass. But what? None of that made my life better. I'm hearing this shit was actually fucking crazy because of your beauty. Stop projecting injustice because of someone's beauty. It's okay for you to be harmed. It's okay for you to endure hardship. I'm really confused. This military, if they don't come out of this toxic expectation, they get fired or they go to prison, okay? Or they just degrade and just, like, enter psychosis is what I'm hearing, okay? But I think that you both are learning, okay? I think that you are learning. And this is a lot of growing pains. So you might be angry having to communicate so much about something that's clear. Like, you can't go around in your official capacity. Like, this is the gossip. People are saying that this official person kept projecting onto your beauty, and that contributed to the injustice, or that this is actually, some of you guys, there's an increased liability during this period where they are still projecting, because, like, you've already been valid and effective, and I'm hearing you've already proven something. You've already validated something. So if they're still not if they're still not making the right decision, they're aware of it and they're just declining in life, okay? So all this learning that you have to do is a lot of growing pain. But I think that that's the intentional way of trying to hurt you. But, if this involves, like, a legal matter, if there's more injury persisting, okay, or more hazards persisting, definitely add tax, because this is about your beauty now and not about what's right and what's wrong, okay? So that just means that they degrade and they are ill and stressed about your beauty so much because they feel too rejected and abandoned by it, okay? With the 4th house, okay? We have Archangel Ariel. You know, these birds is getting buck wild, okay? And then we have the air element. What did I say? Like, they want to talk a lot. Like, they're like, oh, we need a lot more communication so that we can adapt, you know, through discussion, or something like that. And you're just like, I've already talked to you so fucking much. Like, we got like 500 fucking videos of us talking about the same shit over and over again. That's how we know we're not in a spiritual psychosis. You are. We're not going to keep talking about the same shit over and over again. We just going to hit the motherfucking books and we're going to put you out of business too. You dumb bitch. You having a hard time accepting the facts of reality? Let me prove it for you then. Can you accept the facts of reality then? It's like something where they're not in, you know, this is a authority official person, but they're not intelligent enough. They can't reason. They have an issue with their memory, knowledge, or comprehension. They're literally they can't make clear, you know, they can't make clear decisions. When it's a clear like, it's something where it's a clear decision. So it's getting me tight. You know what I'm saying? Getting me tight where you keep trying to discuss about something. Why do we have to adapt? Like something where people are saying they have to adapt to your beauty or something like that. Oh, I have to adapt to them being there. So they're like, some of them, they're letting people steal from you, you know, so that they can adapt to you being beautiful. So they feel like they're leveling the playing fields with your beauty. They feel like your beauty and your gifts are unfair advantages, and so they delay or dissociate so that they can let somebody steal from you, or so that they can make excuses or cut corners or justify why, you know, that, and justify it because of your beauty. Oh, you're so beautiful. You don't need all of that. Let's give them more resources and support or something like that. Like something where people are like, oh, you're beautiful. Let's give someone else more resources and support. Like, what? You sound like a clown too. Like, no. And, you know, I think that there is more learning to do here. I don't think that I think that their good intentions were to engender a social awareness, but I just truly think that some of them are, you know, they are, something may be wrong with their reasoning and memory, okay? This literally might be someone that is not really fit for the position. They're not qualified enough for the position. So we don't know how they got in that position, but, you know, some of them are just mad and they want to do this on purpose. And I think that, like, if they're mad and doing this on purpose, best believe they're gonna take a L at Felicia Trees Tarot, big homie, because I could never lose, bitch. You stay mad, hoe. Stay mad, dance, hoe. Something where they got offended by your expression, and it was because you're like, oh, beautiful people aren't allowed to express like that. Okay, let me show you better than I can tell you, bitch. You can't stop me. Freedom of expression. Okay. We have the gambler. We have the prince. Yeah, this is somebody like if they're in a, and what did I say? A mystic, a delusional rapport with the divine. This person, they literally have a delusional rapport with the divine, okay? They're in a spiritual psychosis, and you're a humble authority. Some of you, especially if they're the one in the authority position, I think that this really challenges the power dynamic and who really is the empowered one here. Because I think that this gossip surrounds, like, you know, they're starting to realize that this person in an authority position is not good, okay? This person has a delusional rapport, that they're in a spiritual psychosis because they keep projecting onto your beauty because of, like, they expect beautiful people to act like that, or they expect beautiful people to be the wrong or the vice, okay? And they feel like this person in this military position or this authority position is just using their power for their own self-aggrandizement, and that they're not really qualified for the position because they need to communicate about it so much. They just are not intelligent enough, not reasoning enough, not you know, able to call on their past life memories. Some of them have trauma, so that could be impacting their memory. Some of them are offended by your knowledge and comprehension, or some of them they're literally saying that for some of you guys, this person really just has, they have a lot of trauma with the sorrow. And so they need to learn how to, they need to learn more, they need to learn new skills to, you know, to manage or cope with their trauma. But for some of these people, they're literally saying, like, if they're aware, you know, some of them, they're aware that, you know, what the right decision is. And if they haven't made it, they're saying that this person is literally just mad and that they're just trying to overpower you with their authority position. And that this person didn't really get in this position with hard work, but they got in this position, you know, with, you know, by luck. And that's what they were projecting onto you. They're saying, like, they see that you are this humble authority now that's coming into this great fortune, perhaps, or your house or something is a big household name brand, or you're very big, you're very recognized in this situation. So, you know, people, they literally were trying to make you out to be the person that relies on luck rather than hard work. That you're the person that props up their, uses power for self-aggrandizement, or that you were the delusional rapport with the divine, but you're literally valid and effective. And they're the ones that are in the self. They're the ones that are in the spiritual psychosis, and they're the ones, because they have been projecting this toxic expectation. People are literally realizing this, that because they have been projecting this toxic expectations, that means that they were not qualified for the position. If they weren't, like, because they were not able to comprehend something that you've been explaining to them. They're literally watching you explain or break something down, and they're saying that this person was just trying to use their power to prop up their own ego, to overinflate their ego, or that they were just mad about your expression or something like that. Okay, they're saying there's a big conflict with this, this official person, where they may be a corrupt politician or a corrupt authority, because they keep projecting their sorrows about your beauty onto you, when it's really a past life memory or traumatic experience from their past. And they're saying that this person is just degrading. Okay, we have the Star, we have the Six of Pentacles, and then we have the Nine of Pentacles reverse. Yeah, they feel like you guys have hope in this situation with this person. They see you as two stars together, and they see that you guys are giving and receiving, and you guys are communicating. But I think that you're really exhausted by their codependency. Some of you guys, this sorrow that they have, it could be a mental illness or an addiction. And I think that this person, they have a codependency where it's literally making them degrade. It's like something where their codependency on you for clarity means that they're not comprehending, or they're just too traumatized, that they're no longer fit for the position, that they need to be relinquished of their duty because they're not proper fit for this official. And they're saying that you're learning to take over this person's position, and that this person gave you their job or something like that. This person gave you their job, or something like that. This person is just dissociating a lot, and there's a strong dissociation. This is a strong, psychological woe that this person has. So, the reason why they haven't been able to be successful is because of a codependency that they have that's making them degrade. They're saying that this person is really immature, that they are degrading, that they have addictions, that they are not, they have hope for them though. I think that they have hope for them, but they see that this person was not, because this official person have been escaping or self-aggrandizing, and they're in a spiritual psychosis. Okay, they have a codependency to do something immature, they're saying. Okay, but it's creating a lot of tension and conflict, and maybe there are differences of opinions and people expressing their opinions, and this person just they're very scattered because of rejection and abandonment issues that they keep projecting. Okay, so yeah, I think that is, you're ready to stand up to this challenge because you know that they have a codependency to go do something immature where they haven't fully they really haven't fully integrated and have not had enough skills to cope with, to recover or get their closure from grief and loss and rejection and abandonment. And so that's why they show an emotional insecurity. Okay, a lot of them are saying that it was just their naivete, their foolishness. A lot of them, just like I said, they had a delusional rapport with the divine, so they've been in a psychosis. So they're saying that this person is literally declining, and that we're learning more about their psychological illness, because it just means that they're not fully maturated and that they're not fit for this authority position. Okay, and so some of you guys need to take their job. LOL. That's what I'm seeing. Let me know how this resonates, group 1, and I'll see you guys in the next one. Hi, group 2. Welcome to your selection. So you chose the heart. So let's get into your selection. So tell me, what is the current gossip on you? Okay. Sheesh. What's the current gossip on you? Group 2. What's the current gossip? Okay. We have prison. Well, I'm hearing it's prison dungeon time. Okay. Deep thoughts about this. Okay, so I think that I was talking about this a little bit in the intro, but there is a discovery group here at Felicia and Trace Tarot where we're working on a solution with artificial intelligence, and there may be something very possible for some of you guys who have been dealing with the corruption, and this is a creative solution for a corruption where this could be saving several lives for those who could be enduring this kind of hardship. But I think that, there has been a milestonia where we have decidedly taken action to imprison. Okay, and so there's a lot of deep thoughts about the people who are going to prison, and this is hard because we have a fond memory with these people. We have some of you guys, these are your cheetah sisters, you know what I'm saying? Girls that, other girls that have been dressing up in cheetah print with you and stuff like that. Like, you guys have a little culture and group and fond memories with one another. So, they have been a part of the foundation, but we have been in deep thoughts about, this decision, okay? Because these violations have been so severe. So, let's get more about what the current gossip is about you, group 2, okay? What's the current gossip about you, okay? Some of you guys are stars, or you're in the stars. So this could be, you could often find people who might need to go to prison. Because if you're, a star, public status, social media influencers, people are, quite frankly, getting out of control all the time. Okay? Yeah, so kind of like a continuation of part 1. But, I think that we're in deep thoughts about these expectations that we had of these people who are going to prison. Like, we expected them to be good. Or some of them, if they were children, we didn't expect them to be committing crimes. Okay, we thought it was, we thought it was the big bad wolf. Okay. But this means stripping roots. Okay. So, this is bad because this means that these people lose full security, and there's a lot of, this brings you unexpected money. This brings you unexpected money, but it has been a hardship. where you have really been a victim, okay? But some of you, you and your soulmate are in, you and your soulmate discovered this together. So, you know, if they've been around since 2020, they've been discovering this since 2020 as well. So they are your co-emperor, LOL, co-founder. That's the only co-founder, by the way. The rest of you go to prison, okay? But I think that, you know, we're in deep thoughts about, you know, clearing this toxic expectation. Even through, that's what we're doing with artificial intelligence, is clearing a toxic expectation that is helping us find a pattern that may put these people in prison, okay? So let's see, let's get more information, okay? Let's see, what's the current gossip about you? This expectation, right? We didn't, like, something where you, it was you, friend. You didn't expect these people to be envious. You was like, wait, but why, right? But why? Why are you envious? What's the problem? If your life is so great, then why are you committing crimes against me? Please, let's talk about this. I'm hearing that this is being spotlighted like an elephant in the room, that we cannot ignore, or we've been noticing a pattern of violence, and we're like, there's something hidden or unseen that we can trace here, okay? And we're when we get to the heart of the matter, right? What did I say about that burden? You know, when we get to the heart of the matter, we know that it's envy. We know that it's, I'm hearing a ferocious envy with these people who are going to prison. And so we're extremely burdened by the loss and the grief, because that means that we have to make an alteration to our ancestry and our foundation, okay? Where some people lose full security, they lose wealth, they lose value, they lose possessions, they lose honor, okay? So, you know, everyone's gossiping about these people who are, you know, the loss and the grief of the people who are going to prison, because it was like an envy that was out of control, okay? LOL, okay? So, that's the irony maxer, friend. That's the irony maxer, is that this was all you were not expecting. I think that you were just going on your journey, right? And I think that you've had a unique journey, but I think that there's been some trials and tribulations on your journey where there have been abuses, okay? And this imprisonment is has been a huge, like these violations have been a big burden on your journey. And so don't feel bad for them losing their security. Do not show an emotional weakness. Do not show emotional insecurity because they weren't beautiful, or that that it's getting revealed how and why they are envious. Okay? How and why. So this is some of this is turning into a diss. I'm hearing something where you're dissing them, and this is burdening everybody even more, because it's like, if you did something to me that makes that where you're going to prison, you had to have been out of control, okay? This was the highest form of disrespect for these people to have been doing this to you, okay? But the irony maxer is that it may have made you feel very bad about yourself. It may have made you feel worthless while you've been isolated, while you've been struggling. But the irony maxer is that this was all envy, okay? So, you know, your journeys were just destiny unfolding, okay? We can't believe, like something where we weren't expecting them to be envious, because some of them, they had a greater fortune than you, or they had privilege, okay? Or they were totally different than you. Maybe you didn't even know them, okay? Or you expected them to be a good lady or good man. So, because some of you guys have fond memories with these people. They were close to the home or family. And so, you know, what we're learning is that they have been false on these journeys together, okay? And so we're revisiting our past memories, our past recollections of them, and starting to learn where they have been false, or where you may have not like where they were not comprehending, or where they had the, you know, the false expectations or the wrong expectations. But I really truly think that this expectation, you know, why this is such a burden for them as well, is that you were not, is that it was just like, it was totally one-sided, this matter, that they were truly jealous of you, even though, like, you know, the irony max are also is that it is that they may have had more than you, like if they were celebrities or something like that. These violations that are getting them put in prison, like I'm hearing they're losing, castles are crumbling because of their envy that got out of control with someone that was less fortunate than them, okay? Or someone that was just minding their business on their journey is such a burden, because you were like paying them dust. Or maybe you even honored these people. So, you know, the fact that they were envious is the irony maxer as well. It's because you gave them honor and they still were mad or something like that. Or, you know, revisiting these moments where you gave them honor and how that was you not truly having the third eye chakra clearing, that this was envy, okay? We have generosity and egoism, okay? I'm also getting it for some of you guys, if this is about a man that was once generous with you, you may have seen them as like, oh, you know, you might have expected them to be protection, or you might have expected them to be security, you might have expected them to love you. But some of you, they were giving from a very egoic place, and that's another expectation, is that all giving is not a generosity, it's egoic. And even if these are, you know, friends, women, they might give you gifts as well, like, you know, you and this person have, you may have, like, they might have given you a lot of gifts, or they may have joined you in a lot of celebrations, or they may have given you a lot of their time and energy. But you are learning that, like, these people they had a hidden motivation in doing that, and that they have been doing something hidden or unseen to violate you, or to get them, you know, to, like, some kind, or committed some other kind of crime, okay? It's like something where this was, you know, the reason why they're doing this is because you would not conform, okay? You would not conform. And they were envious at you for being on a unique journey, and not you. It's because you didn't conform. You didn't really pay anybody dust. You didn't really join in on their activity, okay? It's what I'm hearing, something where you didn't join in on their activity. They may have given you a gift, like a scholarship. They may have given you, these might have been past teachers also. This could have been past teachers. This could have been someone in the military, or your officials, older people, family members that are older, friends that have more money, rich friends, friends that give you gifts or celebrate with you, romantic partners that, you know, sugar daddies, romantic partners that give you a lot of gifts. You may have thought that this exchange, this was the toxic expectation, is that you may have thought that this exchange was generosity, or that it was, you know, familial, friendly, supporting your growth in a way. But this was really their egoic, you know, hidden motivation, where they were driven by a selfish and intense desire, and that was their way of undermining your femininity, is you know, through through giving, okay, to make it seem like they were comfort, that they were care, that they were relating and exchanging, but this was really a ferocious envy that they could not control, okay? Wow. Okay, group 2. Okay, so everybody's gossiping and deep thoughts about all this. They're saying that all these journeys that we've been on with these people, they've been fake the whole time. Yes, Freya, they have. Okay. Okay, Freya, so let's keep going. Okay. We have the 8th house. We have travel or movement. And then we have the Gemini, okay? Yeah, raw as hell, Nebby. Okay, period. So Some of you guys, this person who, they've been around pretending to be fond and, continue to be, pretending to be friends. These people, they have been, people are gossiping and saying that these people have been around you, traveling and moving around with you or following you around. And they're saying that if they have been traveling and moving and following you around, that they are envious. Okay. Some of you guys, you didn't know that these people were watching you. And this was the toxic expectation, is that that you didn't know. You were oblivious, just on your journey, paying people dust is what I'm hearing, friend. And so these people, they became obsessed with through the 8th house, about your sex and orgasms. Maybe this is gossip about your past encounters, your past romantic encounters, or your past companions. And maybe you have communicated about these exchanges, about how they've been unpredictable, erotic, but have made you very engaged. Some of you guys, these are your siblings, or people that feel like siblings, like sisters and brothers, and kindred spirits, cousins. Okay, people that are close in communications. So they're definitely, they engage with your communications about your journeys, and they have been. Okay, so I forget what we left off about too, but I think that you are seeking a change in this situation, and you have reached a milestone for prison, because these people on your journeys of your different sex and orgasms, they have become unhinged by your companions and your experiences that they're clearly not having if they're committing crimes. Okay. So if they're claiming to have love, beauty, art, and charm, they're not if they're committing crimes. Okay, that's delusional. And that's so sad. Okay. So, how to tell me more about today's gossip. Okay. This is really interesting, actually, but people are literally saying that the envy got out of control and that you were not expecting this. So, especially if you were writing, expressing, communicating about your love life and your romantic affairs, your travel, your sex, these people literally they hated the fact that you were intelligent and sexy or something like that as well. Okay. So this is why they wanted you to go to, because you didn't conform to their superficial sex, money, and power, that they literally, they're saying that they tried to take advantage of you, because they're saying that they were trying to take advantage of you for coming around you, for whatever help that you had to offer, perhaps. So, what's the current gossip on you? Yeah, the judge. Yeah, they're saying that you're the judge, and that you've been balancing justice and compassion, and while you were not expecting these people to be jealous of you or for them to be doing this, to have been leading to prison, Fran. Okay, they're saying that you're definitely in deep thoughts about this, but you've been very fair, especially because you've given a lot of these people honor, or you've really you have distributed power. In a way, they're saying that you're supervising the situation, that you distribute power, that you're the judge, that you're the one that calls the shots. But I think that after realizing that, these people, they didn't want you to care for yourself. They didn't want you to, because you were, they were envious of your sex and orgasms. They don't want you to have sex and orgasms and to look good, friend. They don't want you to go out and look good. Okay. And some of them, they started to take advantage of the help that of you with the help that you offer. But really, they've been trying to replace you because you would not conform. Okay, is what I'm hearing. or some of them, you know, because you are a healer and you give so much to those who need help, they could have literally been saying that you were the one that was giving with an egoism, okay? That you didn't really want to help people. But I think that you are very fair in this situation, and your work is benevolent, and you've really been the one that have not been able to take care of yourself, or you've been the one that have been needing help. So it has been this has been a situation, what was I saying, with the angel in the reverse, where you were not expecting them to be envious, maybe because they were a stranger, or for the very same shadow aspect of the angel, acting innocent or angelic to mislead others, falsely claiming to be in touch with angelic guidance. Especially if you're here from Power One, some of them, they were acting like they were in touch with angelic guidance, but that was really a delusional rapport with the divine. Especially, you cannot be in touch with angelic guidance and be so envious to be violating, you know, God's creation. Like, you can't say you love God and then harm God's creation. So these people were acting angelic to mislead others. And so, you know, now that people are starting to realize that they were false and that they were not, that they've been trying to mislead others, people are in deep thoughts about this disillusionment, okay? LOL. Okay, group 2, let's get some tarot, okay? And then we will wrap. Tell me more about the prisoner, okay? They're saying that your judgment was prison, okay? That's what you thought that was fair, okay? For all of this harassment and traveling and moving and inability to care for yourself, I think that you've been very fair, and I think that the fair punishment that you're negotiating is that they have to go to prison, okay? There's no more negotiation, okay? This is fatal because they lose everything, okay? And that you were the judge, that it was your decision to put them in prison, okay? With the King of Wands reversed, the King of Cups in the reverse, and then the Wheel of Fortune, okay? So yeah, there's a lot of petty gossip around this situation, but you know, they really cannot deny that this has all been, you know, somebody who has been obsessed with your sex and orgasms. So what does that tell you? Like, you know what I'm saying? Like, this is a story where you were not able to take care of yourself was really because they actually saw so much value in you. And so this person who's going to prison, there's a karmic challenge around this person that's going to prison because of the burden of the loss and the grief. And they were not expecting, it's like something where they're throwing an emotional tantrum because they were not expecting this rebirth, okay? Where you have gathered a lot of information. So they're looking at you very shocked by the information that you have gathered around this situation. And some of it is petty gossip, but for the most part, this has really been a misuse of business, legal, or criminal authority. Someone acting angelic, someone acting like family and friends, doing something. I'm hearing that they did something ruthless with the King of Wands reversed. Okay, they did something ruthless. Okay, tell me more about the karmic challenge. You know, this is about, so I think that, you know, the karmic challenge is that, you know, I think that this situation is just something that you have to wait out. And I think that, you know, what creates delays is you not practicing your self-care. So I know it may be hard because you have to travel or move so much, but that should be your first priority because that helps you receive the information that you need to receive, okay? That means you need to adapt through a certain situation. And some of you guys, you're doing this without a sanctuary. You're doing this without the comfort of your home. You're not able to integrate fully because you are not in the comfort of your home. But when you get to the heart of the matter, this was all about someone becoming obsessed with what brings you pleasure because you didn't conform to the same conventions that they did, okay? This karmic challenge around this situation is where you might lose respect for certain people. You may lose respect for certain people. Because this may involve a lot of unexpected money. They might say that you are the one that's chasing sex, money, and power. Like I said, they try to paint you out as the person that's misusing authority, or they project whatever that they're after. So these have been people that have been after your pleasure, your sanctuary, your comfort, and your wealth. So that's what they will project onto you while you try to recover from damages. Because they're so burdened by their loss, they keep trying to project as if you're the one that's greedy, that's only for financial gain. But really, this is their way of trying to take advantage of you. Because some of them, the alteration of the ancestry is that some of them just get reduced to a man, or they just get reduced in their status with you. And this is a karmic challenge where, because of a toxic expectation about envy, that there's an alteration to your ancestry where they lose, like partners lose their status, okay? But you are reborn, and you're always given a replacement, is what I'm hearing. LOL, okay? That's what I'm seeing, group 2. Let me know how that resonates, and I'll see you guys in the next one. Hi, group 3. Welcome to your selection. So you chose Cherry Treasure, okay? So let's get into it. Group 3, what is the current juicy gossip on you? Okay. I'm hearing you're a diamond in the rough. Okay, you're definitely a diamond in the rough. Some of you guys, you're in a dangerous situation that you need to adapt through, because there was a trickery, okay? There was a trickery, or there was a stuffy, conventional, predictable behavior that led to very fatal ethical miscalculations, okay? So this conventional thing that happened, I'm hearing the conventional, stuffy, or predictable behavior has led to a fatal ending, okay? So let's get more. Group 3, there's danger, okay? There's danger. Tell me about this gossip, group 3, okay? Deep thoughts, yeah, everybody in deep thoughts. LOL. Everybody thinking deeply, okay? Got their book out trying to read. Got their cards out trying to read. Oh my god. Okay, so this gossip definitely is about the discord. So this discord or conflict cannot be undone, and I think that there's been a lot of expectations about how you've handled this conflict, but I think that there has been severe violations. So if people have a problem with what you're saying, they can suck your ass, because we don't give a fuck. These are people they're literally not honoring, or they're not worth honoring because of this. And this is like a lot of disrespect. Some of these people have been con artists. And a lot of this has been, just a lot about your treasure, your beauty, your pleasure, your finances, your wealth. Like, a lot of this has been about, your life, and it just feels like people have had a big conflict with you just existing, and you're just like, what does my wealth, my sex and orgasms, and my education have to do with you? Like, what does my life have to do with you? When we get to the irony maxer, not even the irony maxer, but when we get to the heart of the matter, these people, the reason why there's such a discord or a big conflict about your existence, you might have been like, why is there a problem with me? I didn't do nothing to y'all. It's literally because you existing or you getting recognized makes them look like a fraud, okay? And we've covered this, and we know that this is all a one-sided conflict projection, okay? Where people try to cast you out or try to not support you or try to not honor you because they're hollow and they don't want people to recognize you because that would mean that you're their true source of power and that they're not authentically empowered, okay? And I'm also getting that your gift is a danger, okay? Your gift that you have, your gifts, your talent, skills, and gifts, this makes it dangerous. I don't know what you're doing, but they will have a problem with you. There's discord about your talent, skills, and gifts, and they're literally not the talented, skillful, and gifted one. So it's envy, okay? You know, that puts you in a dangerous situation because people will see these talents, skills, and gifts and get very pissed off, okay? You know, you're a siren and you've had a lot of sorrow. So, you know, they should not be expecting you to be happy. They shouldn't be expecting you to be contented. They shouldn't be expecting you to be rainbows and sunshines, peaches and creams, happily ever after, just because, oh, you marry me or something like, oh, you're this big, you know, great person, right? Just because you come in and make some, you know, offer of a utopian society doesn't change the fact that all of this sorrow has been about my existence and not because I did anything wrong to anybody, okay? So, you know, they have a problem with how you're expressing about the discord, and I think that you finally started dissing them or you started saying fuck them, okay? Because this has been very cruel, and people trying to steal your treasure, trying to steal wealth, okay? We have journeys coming out again, okay? What's the kind of gossip about you? They're saying that you've had a lot of journeys that have, where, you know, through the sorrow, okay? You know, they might have been jealous of your travel and shit. Like, oh my god, y'all. Bitches is out here jealous of your travel and the way that you adapt through, you know, the way that you move around. Like, what? Like, this is the disheartening thing, okay? This is the heart of the matter, is that, like, even your life of sorrow is extremely envied. Even your bargain basement home, you know, it's like you can't have anything for these people. Like, it's weird, you know, to be sitting around hating someone for existing because you are just a conformance and not good enough. Like, I guess it's not so crazy, huh? Okay, you've really been hurt a lot. You know, they're saying that a lot of you really been hurt a lot. Tell me about the result of this discord, the whip. Okay, there's been a lot of verbal lashings, a lot of you cursing people out. You know, people are saying that you got hurt. You know, because people were, you know, this was a problem about your existence. It was no fault of your own. Okay. But your approach to life and your broad mind was really a problem for a lot of people, especially if they came across you as a conformist. Okay, yeah, this man. Okay, you know, they have a lot of sorrows too, but they're saying that this man has been violent. Okay, because you are, you know, you're a rich girl. Okay, so you're, you know, I think that they're saying that this discord with this man has actually made you a rich girl, okay? They're saying that, you know, if this man didn't love you, somebody else did, or something like that, okay? And that you get a lot of high honor, friend, and there's just like a lot of danger, and responsibility that comes with this as well, okay? You know, all this hurt that you've been through and has not been in vain, okay? They have helped you unlock the key to prosperity about life, okay? About certain aspects of life. But I think that, you know, the discord is with this man that hurt you. Because you were a rich girl, okay, something like that. They hurt you because you were a rich girl. That somebody loved you. You were a sister, a friend, a colleague, a lover, okay? Somebody, you know, is obsessed with you, okay? But, you know, let's get more. Yeah, some of you guys have international recognition. This is an extremely high honor. They're saying that these other people around you that get high honors are just, they're just related. Their high honor is related to you. So they're not, you know, they're not a high honor of it, like in a sovereign way. They're saying that somebody here doesn't have their own community. They don't have their own network. They don't have their own group and identity. So they might copy everything that you do, or they might, you know, chase after you because you're a rich girl. Some of them, they love you too. But I think that a lot of people that are next to the rich girl are not, you know, they just get high honor for being next to the rich girl, okay? Some of these people, like your copycat dupes and stuff like that, they just get honor for being next to the rich girl. They're saying that you're rich, but they see that you're in a karmic loop. While when it's clear that you're the divine feminine, so they're saying that you're still training, but you've already been valid and effective and getting high honor as a rich girl, okay? So they're saying that this discord is, you know, this discord has been just a reflection of your sorrow, okay? That these verbal lashings and this anger that you might display, you know, because they love you, friend, you know, you're a rich girl. It's like they know that this has been a sorrow about this man that have been harming you in the environment, okay? But they see that, you know, to whom much is given, much is required, and that this is a burden of a great fortune, okay? You're very rich now. So the more betrayal, the greater the fortune. LOL. That's really funny. Group 3. This is really good. People are saying that you're working and training and serving and being dependent on because you're a lover, a sister, a friend. You have as a rich girl, you have a lot of value, okay? They're saying that you focus on your health because you keep, you know, you have these verbal, this discord, and I'm hearing something. They're saying that you take a moment to lash them verbally, okay? But they say that this is you healing the self and returning to your work and service after lashing them. Saying everybody gonna heal now, okay? They're saying there's some type of daily dealings, your daily dealings or your daily routine of lashing, okay? It's like something where this verbal lashing is actually making people love you, okay? And it's funny. It's funny because they know that it represents your sorrow for real, though. That's actually really hilarious, group 3. Okay. They're saying that, you know, you've been in, you could be in a karmic loop because they're saying, some of you guys are here from group 1. And they're saying that, you know, after this discord or this fight with this man, that you became everything to someone else. They couldn't even hold back. They couldn't control it. Like they were unbridled in their, you know, appreciation and affection for you because you've helped them with their health in a way. A man that was having poor health, perhaps. They're saying that you became their lover, helping them with their health. Okay, something, LOL. Taking care of them, their mind, body, and spirit. Something, especially if you care for their body. You know, there were a lot of intimacies with this person that, you know, where you care for their body, and like this, they're saying that this made you rich or something like that, or it helped you unlock keys to prosperity, which is health. Health is wealth, something like that. Okay, and they say that, you know, they're saying that a lot of people depend on you, you know, for health, but I think for health support. But I think they're saying that, you know, these verbal lashings were all your fears about this man. Okay, this man that have been, you know, they're saying that that's your way of concealing your deep fear. Okay, or that's you healing. Okay, from the verbal and physical abuse that you have with this man, and how you cope with that adversity have actually made a lot of people love you. Okay, so they know that all this lashing is just you having a sorrow. But I think that certain relationships, you know, because you come out as a rich girl, they love you unconditionally, and so, you know, they let you do what you want. But they're saying that there is a karmic loop that you're in with because there's a person in official capacity that is projecting, and it's because they need to work on their health more. And they're saying that the more you help this person work on their health, the more they will come out of this toxic expectation. They said that they'll have a spiritual conviction and do the right thing, because they know that somebody was misleading in this situation. A man was misleading in a situation, or they wanted to seduce you with a romantic illusion, and they said that you were too rich for that. Okay, LOL. Okay, you were too rich for all that. It's something where you know, this verbal lashing, or this discord, or this harsh communication. They're it's you storytelling is what I'm hearing. So they see it as storytelling, about people in your life that have hurt you or harmed you, that have misled you, that have abused you verbally and physically. And they see that you need to continue working on your health so you can get free from a karmic loop. And this official person as well, something where they keep projecting, because there's a discord about a man. This man that have been, you know, this man may have created an adversity for you, or you may have not really. They're saying that this man loves you, but they are in a karmic loop to focus on their inner life and their personal creativity, and that they depend on you for health. Okay, they need your help to nurse them back to health, because if they've been in an official position projecting, they have really just been unhealthy, mentally ill, a psychological illness, because it's clear that somebody was doing something to mislead, or doing something to harm, physical or verbal abuse as well. Okay, or maybe even crime. But I feel like the discord is about this man. Some of them, this could be your ex-partner that downgraded, okay? And but they could have been, you know, they could have met you with a lot of sorrow, because they misled you in a way, and then they saw you become a rich girl. They watched somebody love you so much, but they feel burdened by this man because they know that they were your ex or something like that. And you're just like, child, don't worry about that, okay? Don't worry about no ex. That's just me telling a story. I'm not caught up over there with their ex. I'm just telling the story. Relax. Like, they getting all up in arms and defensive about your ex, okay? They heart hurt, okay? You got them holding their chest. Somebody that loves you. I also feel like they love you because they know that they know that you know that they're depending on you, and they see that you keep showing up because you know that they're depending on you. Even if they're trying to take advantage of you, you just can't help. People are saying that you just can't help but to learn and love and to share. Like they say, you can't help giving back. You can't help helping. You can't help serving. And if they have to hit a motivation to take advantage of you, then that's going to be a big burden for them. And that you just give with grace and your cup runneth over. So even if they take, you never run out, okay? But they're saying that the karmic loop you're in is because of a health condition, okay? And that it will resolve as you work on your health more. That's what I'm hearing, okay? Especially because you guys are, PTSD survivors. You could be survivors of violence. So they see that this verbal lashing is you telling a story of violence, ultimately, okay? And it's international recognition. The story of violence, this is the best introduction to any nonfiction book I've ever read. LOL. And you are becoming internationally known for telling the story of violence. So they know it's gonna be a little raunchy, friend. They know it's gonna be a little violent. They know it's gonna be a little aggressive, because that's what you're known for. Okay. You're really truly a thug and a gangster, but you're very loved after sharing these deep soul insights. Okay. But there is division. Okay, there is division. I'm not gonna say division, but there is a period of hardship, because the story of abuse could make people feel unstable, especially if this is involving an ass body typing. This is really fatal, because somebody who, I'm getting that if this involves people who were jealous of your mouth and your ass, they got really violent. So this, you returning that verbal lashing could create instability, hardship, could make people feel insecure. But they need to know that this is a story of violence. So they better toughen their spirit if they're going to come around here listening. Okay? Better boss up, little ninja. Okay? But I think that ultimately this violence or this insurrection has been to force people to change their perspective, especially the ones who have been projecting. Like, do I have to get violent for you to get it? What do I have to do for you to get it? Because you're in a karmic loop doing the same thing over and over again. But this is making me even more angry. Okay? LOL. This heart, I hear something where you're very angry. They know that you're very angry because, someone has made up a tale to hurt you. Someone has misled you. Someone has been acting innocently to mislead you, have been falsely claiming to be in touch with angelic guidance, like these fake spiritualists, these con artists, woo-woo, psychics and shit. You were the one that became rich from whatever you're doing, okay? You were the one that got international recognition for your storytelling, for your spiritual practice, for your service through the 6th house, and that's what people are gossiping about. But I think that, getting into this international space, they need to put on their safety hat and their hazmat suit before they come up in here, because this story of violence that you're telling is and can be very offensive. What's the name say? The shit I've been through, Kendrick Lamar. The shit I've been through probably will offend you. With the 4 of Wands reversed, you are definitely unstable and offended, because the shit I've been through, this story of violence, group 3, has been an adversity that not a lot of people can ever walk a mile in your shoes, could even imagine. But when we get to the heart of the matter, it represents a common hardship of the world. Okay, so this is why people are so unstable. Is that all of this abuse and violence that you've endured has actually been a concealing of their deep fear about your beauty, about your recognition, about your body, your ass, your teeth, your mouth, and your breast. And these are fundamental things that you cannot change, that they cannot change. So ugly is a common hardship of the world. These social class differences are common hardships of the world, okay? Because they saw you as this rich girl, and that body and the beauty and the service, they have a deep internal struggle, okay? And some of them have been doing something unseen, concealed, hidden, but it's coming to the light. And so we are no longer going to support this delusional rapport that you've been having with the divine. We're no longer going to support this opposition, this force of people, where it's truly their hardship, but it does not make it right. It does not give you an excuse to hurt other people. There's a group and troop in doubles, but you single-handedly annihilated the lot of them. And so you get to do what you want to do. If you want to curse their ass out, it creates hardships because they get so unstable by this violent expression. But it represents what you have been going through. It represents the truth of what you've been going through. They could be saying that it's all about you, like they could be saying that it's you concealing your deep fear, but I think that these have been the true, this is deep Chiron healing, where your deepest wounds are exacerbated in a situation, and you healing and you returning to your service have made you a rich girl. So this betrayal, this harm that you, or violence that you experienced with this man, has been rectified through focusing on your health and service, okay? The violence that you could be expressing is violence that you have incurred, and it's a storytelling, but it can make people feel unstable. But it changes their perspective in a very necessary way, especially things that they have been denying with their conservative, privileged life, right? Can't relate, right? Because you're not the one grief-stricken on the streets. So yeah, you're going to have a problem with the way that we express, but you haven't been the one that have been violently abused, okay? But it's okay now, because you're rich. LOL. But there are people who have a conflict that you have been able to, the people who are in conflict are the people who were concealing their deep fear, okay, and had been abusing you. And you turning around, healing from this adversity, or recovering from this adversity, and your recollections of their abuse, it's really embarrassing and awkward and making us all unstable, okay? Yeah, they're talking about this conflict that somebody has had with the rich girl. A man that has had a conflict with you being beautiful, being talented, skillful, gifted, with that body type, perhaps, okay? And grew unstable, or grew violently aggressive because they couldn't. I'm hearing something where you started to get the ick with a man, okay? Because they were too unstable about your beauty. That's what I'm hearing. Your beauty, friend. Or your behavior, your rich girl behavior. They couldn't handle your rich girl behavior. They start acting crazy. Okay. That's what I'm saying, group 3, about the current gossip on you, is that they're saying that this man at the get together is so unstable, and that you've done something. You did a violent storytelling to put them on the right path, okay? I'm hearing a violent storytelling that helped reveal their deep fears that were bullying them, okay? But they're saying that this created a hardship and division, but it reflected their internal struggle a lot. And this is the gossip, is that like you're doing this in international space, freeing this person from this like instability, or revealing their instability, has made you a really rich girl, okay? Ooh, yikes. That's what I'm saying, group 3. Let me know how that resonates, and I'll see you guys in the next one.